You want to change your body and your life in just 1 month? That transformation doesn't start in the gym. It doesn't start in the kitchen. It starts in your mind. The very first and most critical shift is in your mindset. Because without that, none of the actions you take will stick. You can have the best plan, the best trainer, the perfect nutrition program, but if your belief system doesn't align with your goals, you'll sabotage yourself every single time. People often ask, what's the fastest way to change? The truth is, change happens in a moment, the moment you decide. Right now, in this room, you can make a decision that's more powerful than any workout or meal plan. The decision to raise your standards. The decision to stop settling for less than you know you're capable of. That moment is when everything starts to shift. Not because life suddenly becomes easier, but because you finally refuse to go back to how things were. You've got to condition that belief daily. Every morning you wake up, you remind yourself what you're doing this for. Is it energy, confidence, self-respect? Maybe it's to show your kids what discipline looks like. Maybe it's to prove to yourself that you are no longer going to live as a victim of your past, your environment, your limitations. Whatever it is, it must be emotionally compelling. Logic won't move you when it gets hard. Emotion will. And it will get hard. You'll be sore. You'll crave old habits. You'll feel tired, unmotivated, even defeated at times. That's normal. But listen closely. Your body will follow where your mind leads. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, you'll struggle. If you see yourself as someone who finishes what they start, you'll fight through. Identity is destiny. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe you are. So who are you choosing to be in these 30 days? This is where you stop negotiating with your limitations. You stop telling the old stories. I've always been like this, or I never stick with anything, or I don't have time. Those stories are chains, and if you keep repeating them, you'll stay exactly where you are. The mind is a powerful servant, but a dangerous master. Reprogram it, and it will serve you. Doubt, fear, laziness, they'll still knock on your door, but now you answer with conviction, with clarity, with power. So how do you start? You make a decision right now that you will no longer operate from the version of yourself that's based on fear or weakness or excuses. You raise the bar. You visualize that stronger, more alive, more confident version of you, and you say, that's me now. You step into that identity before you see the results, because results follow belief, not the other way around. And every day you reinforce it. You prime your body and your mind, you speak words of certainty, you hold your posture like someone who's already transformed, you move like a leader, you don't wait for energy, you generate it. You train your mind like you train your muscles. Repetition, consistency, intensity. That's how you break through. Transformation doesn't begin when you look different in the mirror. It begins the moment you realize you're done living below your potential, and you're ready to show the world what happens when your mind, body, and spirit are in alignment. And it all starts now, with a decision. So now you've made the decision. You've shifted your mindset. You've drawn the line in the sand and said, enough. That moment is powerful, but it's only the beginning, because after that decision comes the plan. And let me tell you, without a clear, structured plan, you'll lose momentum the moment life throws something unexpected your way. That's why the next step to changing your body and your life in 1 month is creating a 30-day action plan that's specific, measurable, and aligned with your new identity. See, most people don't fail because they're lazy or unmotivated. They fail because they don't know what to do next. They wake up with vague goals. I'll try to eat better, or I'll work out when I can. That vagueness is the enemy of progress. If your brain doesn't have direction, it reverts to comfort. You've got to build a blueprint that leaves no room for confusion. You wake up and you know, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, and this is how it moves me toward my vision. So let's talk structure. First, define your physical target. Is it fat loss, muscle gain, more energy, greater mobility? Clarity is power. Once you know the destination, reverse engineer it. If you want to lose 10 pounds, what does that mean daily in terms of movement, meals, water, rest? If you want to feel more alive, what routines elevate your energy consistently? Break it down. Make it real. Then put it on paper or in your phone, somewhere you'll see it every single day. Map out your workouts, not just exercise today, but what, where, and when. Schedule it like an unmissable meeting with your future. Do the same for your meals. Don't leave it to chance or emotion. Emotion will lie to you. Structure will save you. And here's the secret. It doesn't have to be complicated to be powerful. People overthink this stuff. They get caught up in perfect routines, perfect diets, perfect conditions. Perfection is a trap. What you need is a simple plan you will actually follow. That's where the breakthrough lives. In consistency, not complexity. 3 to 5 workouts per week. Whole foods, mostly unprocessed. Daily hydration. 8 hours of sleep. Simple, repeatable, effective. But you also build in momentum. Start small, but stack victories. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk at first. Maybe it's cutting out sugar for just 1 week. That first win gives you proof. It tells your brain, I follow through. And then you raise the standard. You expand the plan. Your identity starts to catch up to your actions. And suddenly you're not trying to change. You're living the change. One more thing, review your plan weekly. Life will throw curveballs. That's guaranteed. But a review keeps you flexible without losing direction. Maybe the gym was closed one day. Maybe you missed a meal prep session. That's not failure. That's feedback. Adjust. Improve. Keep moving forward. Because the goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. And if you fall off track, you don't throw away the whole plan. You don't start over Monday. You don't wait for next month. You recommit right there in the moment. You course correct and keep going. Winners don't need perfect days. They need unshakable commitment. And that comes from having a plan that's not just written down, but wired into your life. This is your map for 30 days. It's not just about fitness. It's about proving to yourself that you are someone who follows through. Someone who builds momentum. Someone who doesn't negotiate with excuses. When you live like that, the results take care of themselves. Because a powerful plan, executed with certainty, builds an unstoppable life. Your body is not a machine. It's a living, breathing expression of your choices. And if you're going to change it, if you're going to transform your energy, your strength, your confidence, it starts with what you put into it. You can train hard, have the perfect schedule, but if you're fueling your body with garbage, or if you're not fueling it at all, you'll burn out, fall short, or hit a wall every time. Food isn't just fuel, it's information. It tells your body what to do, how to perform, how to feel. It shapes your state, mentally, physically, emotionally. That's why this part of your 30-day transformation is non-negotiable. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't about dieting. This isn't about starving yourself or living off salads and shakes. This is about nourishment, feeding your body in a way that creates energy, vitality, and clarity. You want to feel alive? Eat foods that are alive, natural, whole, vibrant. Your body craves simplicity. Give it clean proteins, fiber-rich vegetables, healthy fats, complex carbs, water, and it will respond like a machine. Cut the processed garbage, the sugar spikes, the soda crashes, the snacks that drain your system. Every time you eat, you're either feeding disease or feeding strength. And you don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Just start by becoming aware. Pay attention to how food makes you feel, not just how it tastes. That burger might hit the spot in the moment, but how do you feel an hour later? Foggy? Sluggish? Bloated? Now compare that to when you eat a clean, balanced meal. Lean protein, vegetables, clean carbs. You feel lighter, clearer, stronger. That's your body talking to you. And when you start listening, you begin to crave the fuel that actually moves you forward. Timing matters too. Most people wait until they're starving to eat, and by then, the decisions come from desperation. You've got to be proactive. Plan your meals. Fuel consistently. Start your day with something that sets the tone. Not coffee and sugar, but something that stabilizes your energy. Maybe it's eggs and avocado, a protein shake with greens, some oats with berries. Whatever works for your body, but make it intentional. When you take control of the first decision of the day, it creates a ripple. One solid choice leads to another, and before you know it, you're living in momentum. Hydration is another pillar people overlook. Most fatigue isn't lack of sleep, it's dehydration. Your brain, your muscles, your skin, even your mood, everything is affected by water. Make it simple. Drink at least half your body weight in ounces each day. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Make hydration a ritual, just like brushing your teeth. Keep it close, make it easy, and your body will reward you with better focus, faster recovery, and more drive. You also have to make food part of your identity shift. If the old version of you ate for comfort, the new version eats for power. That doesn't mean you never enjoy a treat, but you enjoy it on your terms. You choose it, you own it, and you move forward. You're not cheating, you're leading. And when you lead your body starts showing up for you in every area of life. Because here's the truth: when you eat like someone who values their energy, their performance, their future, you become that person. It's not just about abs or weight loss. It's about waking up ready. It's about pushing through workouts. It's about showing up in relationships with presence. That kind of life starts at the table. And once you learn to fuel with intention, you stop reacting and you start rising. Now let's talk about the part everyone associates with transformation: the training. Moving your body, breaking a sweat, lifting, running, stretching, pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. But here's what most people get wrong. They think working out is just about effort, just about burning calories or pushing hard for the sake of it. That's not the path to lasting transformation. It's not about just doing more. It's about training with purpose. You can go to the gym and throw yourself into a workout, but if you're not clear on why you're doing what you're doing and how it connects to your outcome, you're just going through the motions. You've got to connect the physical with the emotional. You've got to know what this workout is building, not just in your body, but in your identity. Every rep, every round, every drop of sweat is a message. This is who I am becoming. That's what training with purpose looks like. It's not random, it's aligned, it's focused, it's intentional. You don't need to train for hours a day. That's a myth. What you need is intensity and consistency. You need to show up even when you don't feel like it and push yourself beyond comfort. Because comfort is the enemy of change. Progress lives in the moments when your brain says, stop, and your body says, let's go. That's where breakthroughs are born. Not just physical ones, but mental, emotional, spiritual ones. And here's the truth: your body adapts to challenge, but your mind adapts to it even faster. When you face resistance in the gym, when your legs are burning, your heart is racing, and you want to quit, and you choose to keep going anyway, you're not just getting fit, you're rewriting your story. You're building resilience. You're proving to yourself that you do hard things, even when it's inconvenient. That muscle carries into every part of your life, into your business, your relationships, your self-worth. So what does purposeful training look like? It means mixing it up. Strength training, because when you build muscle, you build metabolism. You create posture, stability, power. It means getting your heart rate up. Cardio, that challenges your endurance, your stamina, your breath. And don't skip the mobility work: stretching, dynamic movement, recovery. That's how you stay injury-free. That's how you feel young again. But the real magic isn't in the perfect workout. It's in the ritual, making movement a daily non-negotiable. Even if you're short on time, even if you're tired, even if your schedule's insane, you move your body anyway, because you're no longer someone who tries to be fit. You are fit. You don't negotiate with laziness anymore. You don't identify with fatigue. You align your actions with your future. And on the days it's hard, you remind yourself, you're not training to look good. You're training to live well, to have energy for your family, to have the strength to handle stress, to feel proud of how you show up. You're training because your body is a gift, and you're done treating it like a burden. So don't just chase the burn. Don't just follow the trend. Train with purpose. Move with meaning. Push with passion. When you do that consistently, you won't just change your body. You'll discover just how powerful you really are. And that power was always there. You just had to wake it up. You can have the right mindset. You can have the perfect plan. You can eat clean and train with intensity. But if your daily environment, the rhythm of your life, is working against you, that momentum slips away. Real transformation doesn't happen in spurts of motivation. It happens in the routine, the structure, the rituals that shape who you are when no one's watching. That's where consistency lives. That's where change sticks. Let's be real. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. One minute you're fired up, the next you're tired, distracted, overwhelmed. That's human. But discipline? Discipline is built through routine, through design. When you stop leaving your energy to chance and you create a daily structure that supports your goals, your life starts moving with power, not resistance. That starts the moment you wake up. Your morning sets the tone. If you roll out of bed late, grab your phone, scroll through emails, rush through the door, you've already handed control of your day to the outside world. You've told your nervous system, react, don't lead. But what happens when you start your day with intention? You wake up and take ownership through movement, hydration, breath, gratitude, a few quiet moments to align with your vision. You remind yourself, this is who I am. This is how I live. That energy carries into every decision that follows. It doesn't take hours, just a few minutes to check in with yourself, to prime your body, set your focus, and tap into the version of you that's leading this transformation. You do that every day, and it compounds. One strong morning leads to better meals, better decisions, a better workout, a better mood. You start stacking wins before the world even gets to you. Then there's the structure of your day. What are you building around? Is your calendar full of distractions? Are your meals random? Is your time controlled by everything but your mission? Because your environment shapes your energy. If your day is cluttered with chaos, don't be surprised if your results feel the same. That's why we simplify, we prioritize, we create anchors, set meal times, training times, recovery windows. We remove decision fatigue. We automate what matters so you can focus on growth. And just as important as the morning is, how you close the day. At night, your brain processes everything. It either recharges or it carries tension into tomorrow. That's why we create an evening ritual, not just watching TV until you crash, but actually winding down with purpose. Reflect on the day. Celebrate what you did well. Acknowledge where you slipped. But don't judge, just course correct. Read something that feeds your mind. Get to bed early. Protect your sleep like your life depends on it. Because your energy, your hormones, your recovery, your discipline all do. When you create these routines, morning and night, you build something stronger than habits. You build identity. You stop being someone who's trying to change, and you start being someone who lives the change. And once that rhythm takes hold, the work feels lighter. The path feels clearer. You stop needing willpower to push through, because your life is aligned with your goal. So don't just hope for change. Don't just work harder. Design your life to support the person you're becoming. Build the routine that builds you. And when your days are shaped with purpose, your life follows with power. You've shifted your mindset. You've built a plan. You're fueling your body, training with purpose, and anchoring your days in rituals that keep you aligned. But here's the truth. None of it is sustainable. If you're doing it alone, isolated, or surrounded by people who don't reflect the standard you've set. You want to change your body and your life in 1 month? Then you need to upgrade your peer group. You need to surround yourself with people who remind you of your future, not your past. We become like the people we spend the most time with. It's not just a motivational idea, it's a scientific fact. Energy is contagious. Beliefs are contagious. Standards are contagious. You put yourself around people who are constantly growing, pushing limits, expecting more from themselves, and you will rise. You can't help it. Just like gravity, their momentum pulls you upward. But stay in a circle of people who settle, who complain, who make excuses, and eventually that becomes your baseline, not because you want it to, but because proximity influences identity. So ask yourself, who are you spending your time with right now? Do they challenge you? Do they support your goals? Or are they quietly pulling you back to the old version of yourself? See, transformation requires emotional reinforcement. It requires people who speak life into your new standards, people who hold you accountable, not because they're judging you, but because they believe in you. They see your potential even when you forget it. That might mean having tough conversations. It might mean saying no to certain social situations. It might even mean distancing yourself from relationships that are rooted in the version of you you're leaving behind. And yes, that's uncomfortable, but staying stuck is even more uncomfortable. Growth demands that you protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. And it's not just about cutting out negativity, it's about actively seeking out people who elevate you. That might be a training partner who shows up no matter what. It might be a coach who calls out your blind spots. It might be a group, a community, even an online tribe that shares your vision and your fire. The form doesn't matter. The alignment does. You need people in your life who normalize high standards, who celebrate discipline, who don't flinch at your ambition, but fuel it. You also have to become that person for others. Be the energy you want to attract. Be the one who leads by example. When you live with integrity, when you live out loud, when you show people what's possible without preaching, just by being, you inspire change without saying a word. And that's how transformation multiplies. It stops being just about you. It becomes something bigger. You'll have days where you doubt yourself. That's natural. But when you're in the right environment, someone else will remind you of the promise you made to yourself. They'll remind you of the standard you set. And in those moments, it's not willpower that keeps you moving, it's connection. It's knowing you're not alone. So build your circle. Be intentional about who you let into your space, because your results aren't just about what you do, they're about who you're becoming. And the fastest way to become your best self is to surround yourself with people who won't let you be anything less. And when you align with the right people, you don't just grow, you soar.